Call meeting to order.
Yes, 1A, roll call and possible action excuse of any member of the governing body. Hilda?
Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Lazar Guajardo,
Present.
Commissioner Bobby Carrillo,
Here.
Commissioner Ramiro Caballero.
He called, said he's going to be a little late, but he'll be here.
Okay. Commissioner Daniel Chavez,
Here.
Commissioner Ricardo Medina,
Present.
and Commissioner Itza Flores.
Present.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you. Pledge and invocation by Luis.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Lord, you have entrusted us as stewards of your creation. Please guide our hearts as we make our decisions. We seek you first in all we do together. We give you our citizenship, our leadership, our customers, our workforce, and our business. May we always be mindful of their service. We confess that we are nothing without you, and our trust is in you completely. Amen.
Luis. On to item number 2, public testimony. Hilda, anybody sign up? None? All right. Item number 3, city manager's report. 3A, city engineer's report. In the packets in your, the reports in your packet. Engineers in the audience, you have any questions?
Omar, can you give us an update? I know the 2-to-1 exchange is already starting, and there was concerns about back in the day, and Pete Alvarez came and he told us that because of how high those ramps are going to be coming off from Edinburgh, going west, that the Papados exit is likely going to be removed. But I think you were able to solve that situation. So could you explain to the people what exactly is going to happen there?
Correct. Omar Ansaldua, city engineer for the record. Yes, Mayor, I know you went up to Austin with some contingent to meet, and I know at first there was a design constraint, but we solved it by putting a braided ramp. That is a ramp that goes underneath another ramp. Essentially, it's like 2 ramps in one. You've seen them. There's one in McAllen that they're getting, so it was very important for us to keep that exit, and with communication with Pete, they did commit to that we are going to be getting that exit ramp, so it is
Great.
in the
And
plans.
that's a separate contract from the 2-to-1 exchange?
Correct. That'll be as a separate contract, so as not to delay this current project.
Good. Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? All right. Submission of the first quarterly 2021 city Pharr investment report. Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, the investment report is in your packet. We're about $65 million in investments. Everything's on track and everything's making money for us.
All right.
Any questions? All right, I have a couple more reports for you. One, our Parks and Rec Department will be hosting Movies in the Park this Saturday, February 6th from starting at 6:30 p.m. Spaces will be marked to comply with social distancing requirements, and they will be showing Disney's Beauty and the Beast. They'll be at Dr. Long Park, 1000 East Eldora Road, and we'll be offering free popcorn while it lasts, so get there early. Item number 2, the Greater Pharr Chamber of Commerce will be hosting the Hub Market Days. This is our second one. It's going to be Saturday, February 13th from 5 to 9 p.m. here in the downtown Hub Park. We'll have food, music at the park, as well as vendors, so come out and enjoy yourselves and continue to support small businesses. And it's going to be here at 200 South Cage, right next to City Hall. And the last item I have for you, in an ever-striving effort to improve the city and our city functions, we've done 2 things. One, we had a media department. We changed that media department to the Office of City Communications. So it's a lot more professional, it's a lot better. To head that up, we needed a new person. We did diligently search for a new face and voice of the city, and we came out with Miss Michelle Lopez. Come on up, Michelle.
I didn't get it?
No, you didn't get it. You already have a role in the city. We don't do roles here.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission. It's a pleasure to be here. Excuse me. It's a pleasure to be here. I did interview for this job a few weeks ago. I'm excited to be here. I'm originally from Ecuador. I was born in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I moved to the United States in 1995. I was raised in Tampa, Florida. That's where I went to high school, college, and I moved to the RGV in 2007 to begin my broadcasting career. I was a newscaster for about 5 years, and then I decided to change roles into the marketing and public relations area. I served in BEDC, which was the Economic Development Council in Brownsville. later went to CCRMA, where I was their communications director for a few years, and then I took some time off to become a mommy. I was a mommy for a couple years, but then decided to, get back in the workforce, and I ended at Valley Baptist Medical Center, and I did their public relations, their marketing, and managing. And unfortunately, COVID happened, so I was furloughed, and I just stayed at home with my kids, and it was about time that I got back into the workforce, and I'm really excited to be here, especially with Pharr. I like their slogan, which is pride. I'm looking forward to the many challenges and the many opportunities that this city brings. I'm ready to put Pharr on the map, continuing to do that. I know you have exciting projects, so I'm a team player. I love communication, so whatever you need, I'm here, and let's get ready to work.
Great. Well, Ms. Lopez, thank you for taking the job.
Thank you for having me.
I'm surprised you beat me, but okay, I understand why. We have a very strong media department. It's headed by Jose, and you're going to find that the talent is very promising, and you're going to see that a lot of them are from Pharr. We tend to hire local,
Yeah.
hence why you're here. We want to make sure that we exploit the benefits of all our endeavors that we have in this population. You will also be, just so you know, working with school districts also. That's part of the deal that comes with it. They have a lot of aspiring artists and people who know the technical aspect of social media and so forth, and we roll them into your department as volunteers, but also for externships, so they can understand how to do that. So please be mindful when you see students show up all of a sudden, or a high school principal call you, that is part of the deal. We want them to get that experience.
I understand.
You work with a lot of good organizations. I know Manivela very well. And of course, the CCRMA, those people are good people, very good people in the Brownsville. And so we're delighted that you came back, and I'm sure it's going to be a fresh air, right, for all our media department. And please engage them, get them going.
Definitely.
It's good to hear that you're a newscaster, because one of the things, I don't know about them, but one of the things I've always wanted is, it's not only to have somebody who can articulate their message very clearly, but they can write and can put a story together. That way our citizens, they're bilingual, right? To make sure you put the story together so they understand it clearly what's happening, and articulate that message and get it out there, and also make some nice video so they can know what's happening in their city. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I'm really glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, so she'll be our Chief Communication Officer.
Oh,
I know Jose's done a good job with it, we appreciate it, but his forte is IT, and we need him in
I
IT.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of work, dual roles, and never complain, and thank you. Thank you for helping that.
Okay, let's move on to consent agenda. All items are routine and non-controversial and can be enacted in one motion, should you so choose.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 5A, consideration action, if any, on ordinance amending ordinance O 2006-47, Standards Manual Construction and Development Guide. Yes, Mayor Commissioners, a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, we had talked about updating our drainage policy to include residential drainage. Right now, very few cities have it. McAllen is one of the ones leading the charge in it, so we did talk to them. When you build a house, there's no requirement for drainage on your property. This is gonna require them to dedicate a piece of land, however big it needs to be, to account for the drainage when the houses are built. So it's gonna dedicate one land. The calculations we've done, it might add about 15%, or it'll take up about 15% of the land they have, an estimate, so it's not much of a hit to development, but it does help out the drainage situation in the city of Pharr. The other thing is, we were talking about, we have a problem, everybody's got a car, the mother, the daughter, the son, everybody's got a car, so cars are parking on both sides of the road. Public parking is free in the city of Pharr on the roadside, we can't stop them. So when you have cars parked on both sides of the road in a residential street, it's hard for a fire truck, for an ambulance to get through there. The only solution we have is to make the street wider. This will accomplish that. We are looking to add 6 feet on either side, which we're going from a 34, we call back-to-back, which is concrete to concrete, curb to curb, from a 34-foot road to a 40-foot road total. This should cost approximately $1,500 per 100 feet. So still, it's nominal, but it has a big effect on our city. And I do want to give a kudos to Commissioner Medina. He did see a typo in our ordinance, so we are going to change that. The radiuses were actually supposed to be at 35, and he caught them at 20, which I appreciate. It means y'all are actually reading the stuff we gave you, so thank you. So we'll correct that also. Staff is recommend approval.
Bueno, los lentes, eh?
Move to approve. Second.
And just for clarification also, as you know, Omar, part of our problem that we have in South Pharr and then, I guess, the north side of Pharr, right, is that you have a lot of subdivisions, for whatever reason, in the past were built, and it's unfortunate, but they didn't have the proper drainage, right? We inherited that mess. It is what it is. Some don't even have the little, what do you call those, manholes, or what do you call
The
those?
inlets, carbon
Inlets,
inlets.
right? And we noticed that a lot in South Pharr, but that's a developer, whoever built their homes. It's unfortunate, but they weren't told of those needs, and that's why you're having a lot of those drainage. We're solving it now, but it's gonna take a while. But just on the Sugar Eggley area, right? How much are you thinking that's gonna cost to fix that problem? That whole subdivision area?
We're still looking at the numbers, but, you know, anywhere between 10 to 15 million. We're trying to find more solutions, more cost-effective solutions, but it's a very challenging area. So, you know,
Yeah.
with everything built out, there's not a lot, not a lot of land, so
Right.
the solutions become very costly.
Right, but we have a solution. I know we saw it.
Correct,
and
yes.
We're gonna execute it.
Yes.
But I just wanna make sure the resident of Pharr know the drainage issues are being addressed. They're just unfortunate. They're old, and
Right.
they were here far in advance before we got here, but we might as well fix it now. And these ordinances are being developed so that these mistakes don't get made anymore. People build homes, and, you know, it's not the homeowner's fault. It's just the developers, they cheat corners, and, you know, they, at the end of the day, wind up having a bunch of issues that we don't want to see that in Pharr anymore.
Correct.
Thank you for your help there, sir. So anyways, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5B, consideration action, if any, on resolution adopting and updating the city fiscal policies. Yes, sir, we do update the policies every year for new law revisions and things that the auditors pick up. This year, we're picking up some of the budget adjustments and how we handle them in-house. Minor revisions, staff is recommending approval.
Okay.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 5C, consideration action, if any, on resolution executing an advance funding agreement with Texas Department of Transportation for the Ag Lab, CGS number 0921-202-443. Yes, sir, this is the Ag Lab at the bridge. The total project cost is approximately 13.5 million. We did get Rider 11 money for $8 million, so we're on the hook for about 4.7. So staff is recommending approval.
Yeah. Luis, you want to come up and explain to people, or from there, whatever makes, this is something we worked on. Make sure the public understands what this is.
For a long time.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, City Administrators, for the record, Luis Bazan, Bridge Director. So what the AFA is, obviously, is an advanced funding agreement for a much-needed regional ag training center and laboratory. This will be the first of its kind in the region. It's part of our DAP projects, which are the Donations Acceptance Program projects. This is to be let sometime at the end of 2021, but it is a much-needed project. Why? Because we're crossing about 70% of all the nation's produce through Pharr. So we need the personnel, the equipment, the brick-and-mortar facilities to be able to do this. So going forward in the future, as we continue to grow in produce crossings, and right now we're actually shipping in about 18,000 shipments per month. You know, last year we had 190,000 shipments of fresh produce coming through this bridge. So we just need to be prepared, and this is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time. So
So total cost is 13?
12.8, $13 million.
And how much did we get from
8 million from Ryder.
Ryder, right?
And
So
4
you just
from
come
the
up with a
city.
different- That's a big chunk.
Yes.
So the other part of it is that we haven't decided which school district we're gonna partner with. But
Okay.
we know UTRGV, last I checked, were the ones that are gonna bring in their postdocs. And so for the average person like me, what he's talking about is there's all these bugs on our fruits and vegetables, and they have to be identified before they enter the United States, so they don't contaminate our
Correct.
our fruits or get people sick or contaminate our environment. So they get studied, but it always gets hunkered down because there's not enough of those professors, you know, that look at that stuff. So we're building a state-of-the-art lab at the port of entry, and we're having the postdocs from UTRGV come in. Those that are getting PhDs are coming in, and they're going to learn hands-on to work with our people that we hire for their education purpose. At the same time, we're bringing in a school district, which we haven't decided who, to augment their agriculture department, because it would be amazing for the kids not only to do their ag education at their high schools, but also roll in, not only taking care of animals and also the vegetables and so forth that they do, but now they can see how this entomology degree, how it plays into the life cycle and the supply chain of a community. So that's why I'm excited about it. I'm glad we got the 8 million, right? But I'm excited because I know it's gonna add even more for our students, both at the college level and also at the high school level.
Correct. And it'll be both federal government, which is CBP Agriculture, and USDA working side by side inside this facility, again, to ensure we have cargo, what they call cargo release authority. We don't want to be storing any produce products in the bridge. We want to be able to ship them out.
That's right.
That's
Thank
what
you,
it
sir.
is.
Here I have a question.
Yes.
Luis, you might want to elaborate as to the difference on time now that, once we have the lab versus what happens today?
Well, when we started with all DAP projects, the end goal was to get all shipments of trucks, regardless of what product they're coming in, to get in and out in 10, 15 minutes tops. The idea right now that we have anywhere from 30 minutes to up to 4 hours wait times, depending on the time of day, whether the system failed in Mexico or the US, things of that nature, and other variables. To us, it's incumbent on us to ensure that we have the proper infrastructure going forward, because again, the numbers don't lie. And studies 4 or 5 years ago were already indicating a 50% growth just in produce alone. And the mayor's right, that's the part of the job that we don't like. The job that we have to identify these bugs, these specimens, that sometimes they might have gotten in that truck once they already crossed into the United States. But once one bug is caught inside one product, that throws the entire product away. That means that truck will be stuck in there. By having this laboratory, the certified personnel, the communication and the collaboration with the UTRGV, we'll be able to ensure that these products get to market into the end consumer as fresh as when they were handpicked from wherever they were picked, like the
Right.
crops.
I guess he's talking about, right now you have to send it out to another lab. Where's that closest lab?
Correct. So there's one in Los Indios. For some reason, at Los Indios in Cameron County, they do have, I guess, a better facility for some reason.
Sure.
Even though they're not crossing as much as we are. But at the end of the day, that's where it goes to if they can't identify it here. If they can't identify it over there, it goes to Washington. So they'll do it through, right now they're doing everything virtually, so they're able to identify it because they've already established a certain certification or certain amount of specimens that are considered either actionable or non-actionable. If it's non-actionable, that means it can cross. If it's actionable, it means it cannot cross into the United States.
Great.
But it's a great win for Pharr.
Oh, yeah,
We've been looking at this for years.
It'll move the supply chain, it won't hang it up.
That's exactly what it
Please.
is.
You talked a lot, but you didn't answer me.
What was the
My
question?
question was,
30 to 4 hours.
my question was,
Más despacio.
how long does it take right now versus once we get the
Oh,
lab?
once we get, like I said, it'll be up to 10, 15 minutes, even less than that.
But
And right now, if you
have to
send it to
wait.
Washington, how much time is that? Is that gonna be 4
It could be
hours?
there 24 hours. It could be there a day. If the shipment doesn't go through because there's a bug in there and it throws the entire shipment off, it could stay there overnight and it has to be sent back to Mexico because it can't make it safely because of the Food Safety Act. So yeah, it could stay there a day or 2 days. It all depends.
Yeah, so you're gonna reduce days in a few minutes. which is
The
great.
average wait time, my understanding is the average wait time right now for something like that, if it does take place, and we don't see it as commonly as we used to, luckily everybody's following food protocols and food safety protocols in Mexico from origin, you're not seeing quite a lot, but they could stay there an entire day, up to 8 hours, 12 hours.
Now that we're
Thank you.
having the second span by 2023, it's really
Oh, man.
important to make sure we have all this infrastructure in play.
So correct. Once you have the second span, once you have our DAP 15, our DAP 16 projects, which this one is included in there, I mean, there's no telling what we'll be able to do. I mean, you can get from gate to gate from Mexico to the United States if the product is certified. So there's a lot of ways we can eliminate, not just start controlling wait times, but start eliminating wait times.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luis.
Michelle, hope you're taking notes. There's a lot of information. All right,
Motion to approve.
all right. Thank you, sir.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 5D, consideration action, if any, on resolution authorizing the city of Pharr to participate with cities as a party to the AAP Texas Inc. filing, PUC docket number 51671. Yes, Mayor Commissioners, there's a private firm out there that usually gets with the cities, McAllen leads the charge. AAP is looking to recover $13.8 million in advanced metering that they're putting out to monitor the electricity. It's an infrastructure recovery charge. This company goes out there and verifies the numbers are right and the charges are true and correct before it gets passed on to the consumer. So we want to be part of that in case it does not come out to be true and correct, we're protected, we don't have to accept it.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 6A, consideration action, if any, amending the professional architect rotation list for architectural projects. Yes, sir, I did put a packet on y'all's table right now. It is from Method Architecture out of Houston, Texas. We're asking to place them on the professional service rotation list.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7A, consideration action, if any, on acquisition of Vidal County Irrigation District Number 2 easement. Yes, sir, at the property we bought on Sioux Road and 281 where the natatorium is sitting, there's 2 lots we're developing, one's for the natatorium, the second lot is for future development. There is a 30-foot by 606-foot long easement from the from the Irrigation District Number 2. It's no longer in use. We need to get rid of it to clean up the plat. We're proposing to pay $16,200 to release the easement.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7B, consideration action, if any, on the purchase MX 908 handheld chemical identification system from Far West out of Schertz, Texas, through buy board contract number 603-20 for the price of $65,018 and 25 cents of a state Homeland Security Funds grant. Yes, sir, this is a handheld chemical identifier. This is all through grant funding, no cost to the city. Staff is recommended approval.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7C, consideration action, if any, the purchase of a Pierce Custom Enforcer pumper and a Skeet Ford F-550 Type B brush truck from Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC out of Denton, Texas, using buy board number 571-18 for a total price of $801,161 and 15 cents.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Through our budget process, we did budget for a new pumper for the fire department and a new brush truck. This fulfills both those requirements. Staff is recommend approval.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8A. Good, Commissioner. Thank you. He's got to leave for an emergency.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. 8A, consideration action, if any, authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with South Texas College to provide training to staff for Pharr University 2021. Yes, sir, we do have Pharr University every year where we train employees on certain items. This year, we want STC to go ahead and cover professionalism in the workplace and customer service, and the amount is $9,000. It's nominal for the training we're getting. Staff's
So
recommend
moved.
approval.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I have a question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
You said 9,000, I thought it was the other one, the 4,000 for STC. Is that correct?
No, it's 9,000. Here comes
It's 9,000?
She'll,
total.
she'll explain it.
The cost is 3,450.
Oh, what?
3,400. 450 is the cost.
Oh, it's a
That was,
reduction.
it's
see
not
9,000 on there?
9,000.
That's a reduction. That's good.
Yeah.
I thought 9,000.
No, 9,000 is for UT or GV.
But this is STC we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
STC. Oh, my bad. Yes, sir, it is. You're right. They put the alternatives on there.
Doing better?
3,000.
Okay, well, that's going to STC, that's what we're approving
Yes,
anyway, right?
STC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still going through STC.
Yes,
It's through
Same amount.
STC.
yeah, the
9,000.
amount that they approved,
3,000.
or that they.
3,400.
Okay. So
We can move on the motion,
Yes.
All right.
yeah.
$3,000.
So we're commenting. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Okay. 8B, consideration action, if any, on award of contract for the city of Pharr various parking lot improvement projects. Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, if you remember a while back, we went out for bids. They came in kind of high. We went out for rebids. What we did, we segregated out the materials. We bought them in-house. This is just for labor. We had various bidders come in ranging from $616,000 to $1.5 million, I believe it was. We're recommending to go with RDH Site and Concrete LLC in the amount of $616,150.50.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8C, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to negotiate and enter a contract with Javier Hinojosa Engineering for professional engineering services for the design and project administration of the South Regional Detention Facility and Drainage Improvement Project. Yes, sir, part of the master drainage plan that we're doing for the south side is we bought 23 acres, right, Omar? 23 acres to be a huge detention facility out there. This is the engineer to do the design work.
Okay.
So we can get it underway.
Oh, wait. Is this our, the one way down South Pharr? Okay.
Yes, this is the one on the east side
And they, the
of
one we're gonna
Cage.
dig out?
Right,
That one?
correct.
Okay, yeah, you never really presented like what it's meant to be. So it's much more than just a drainage,
Correct,
remember? I mean,
Can you
right?
explain?
You're gonna, it's not just a hole.
yes.
This guy came up with, I know Chavez wanted this for a while, but it's gonna be our first dog park, right? So it is, it's an amazing dog park, in addition to holding water. So I think residents are gonna really love it, the architecture behind it. It's not just gonna be a hole, it's actually gonna be functional when there's no water there.
Correct.
And that was a great idea you and Chavez came up with. But we're likely gonna do one on the north side, because I think it's gonna be really popular when it's not filled with water, right? It's gonna be really popular for people to utilize. But I'm sure that, you get together with Michelle also to make sure you have a press release and people understand
Yes.
the architecture behind it, the graphics, so forth. Because, images say a lot of words, and just, instead of just, announcing it, I think you need to educate the public of what's coming. And when are you guys starting that?
As soon as, it gets approved tonight, we've already reached out to PSJ Southwest, to Misano, so
That's right.
the students are already working on the design concept on
Yeah.
that, so, it's also gonna have, like you mentioned, park amenities.
Yeah.
And this is not just this is also the storm pipe infrastructure, not just the
remember.
hose, so all the drainage leading into it, we're gonna be upgrading the pipes, making sure that there's no chokes in the system, so this is gonna alleviate that whole area. So like I said, PSJ
And no
Southwest.
matter what you say, man, people are just gonna remember the beautiful park and the dogs,
Correct,
and cats running
yeah.
around, just watch.
Yeah,
That's
so-
all they're gonna remember, but it's gonna have a function to
Yeah,
it, you're
so
right, absolutely.
PSJ Southwest is already working on it.
That's great. Okay, any further discussion? Yes,
So
Move to approve.
oh, sorry.
Second.
You did the second?
Yeah, I did second.
Okay, sorry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes, thank you.
Thank you. 8D, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to negotiate and enter into a contract with Cobb Finley for professional engineering services for design and project administration of the citywide fiber optic project.
Great.
Yes, sir, this is a long time coming. Back in October, we did approach y'all to do preliminary plans. Those were done. We have the concept ready. Now we're ready to go to design. And if everything goes true and correct and right, we should be breaking ground by April of this year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes, we are adjourned at 4:30. Thank you, everybody.